Hey, it's the Ray Regan, and today is Good Friday. Is the um, for you non-Christians? It's basically the day that Jesus was arrested, sent to Pontius Pilate, uh, and was crucified. So that's just the short version. But so today I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I'm trying to get some lessons from it, um, from basically kind of not just modern lessons, but just general lessons, and that's good for life. And that's the um, beauty of the Bible. It's still relevant today. So for for anyone who's interested, I'll probably put it in the probably put it in the description. But if you want to read the story of Good Friday, it's in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and it's basically Matthew 27, 1 through 66, Mark 15, 1 through 47, Luke 23, 1 through 56, John 18, 28 through 1942. So here is Mark. Here's Matthew, excuse me. And so I'm not going to go through the whole story. I'm just going to touch on some of the stuff. Um, in particular, I just want to start with basically the arrests and basically what ends up happening for the people who don't know is he was taken. Basically, he was arrested by the high priests of Israel, of there in Jerusalem, and basically he was sent to the governor, which was Pontius Pilate, and he had a they had an basically a ceremony that they would do every Passover. Is they would release a prisoner. Uh, People that they would get to choose which prisoner they wanted to release. So what I wanted to read to you guys here. Here we go, excuse me. Now it was the governor's custom each year during the Passover celebration to release one prisoner to the crowd, anyone they wanted. This year there was a notorious prisoner, a man named Barabbas. As the crowds gathered before Pilate's house that morning, he asked them, "Which one do you want to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who's called the Messiah?" And he goes, he knew very well that the religious leaders had arrested Jesus out of envy. Just then, as Pilate was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent him a message. Um, I'm just going to keep going. Meanwhile, the leading priests and elders persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas to be released and for Jesus to be put to death. So the governor asked again, "Which of these two do you want to release?" And he shouted, "Barabbas." Pilate responded, "Then what should I do with Jesus, who's called the Messiah?" They shouted, "Crucify him." And it says here, the mob roared even louder, "Crucify him." Uh, when Pilate saw that he wasn't going anywhere and that a riot was developing, so he sent for a bowl of water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood. The responsibility is yours." So just going to start with that passage there and just talk about um, just related to a lot of stuff that's going on here with mob justice, because that's what we're um, when you put an adjective in front of justice, it renders the word meaningless. And that's what I'm talking about here with mob justice, because here this is what it was. And Pilate, in order to avoid a riot, basically was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do whatever you guys want." And that was the whole thing of the washing the hands was, I rid myself of this responsibility. It's on you guys. And, in this world today, we have to be careful. This is what's going on. You see this everywhere going on with mob justice, and it happens on both sides. Just right now, it's going on more in particular on one side. Um, you saw the riots ignored all summer, and still ignored to this day, because there's still stuff that goes on in Portland and Seattle and up there in the Northwest that gets ignored by the media. Um, and but meanwhile, January 6th happened, and we're still um, and it was that one day, and it's all everybody talks about because the bias in the media. But anyway, I wanted to relate it today, but I don't want to get off topic because I want to keep it. I just want to relate it to what's going on now, but not go into my normal uh, rants about the stuff that's going on. Um, but so you can see here, like I said, mob justice and what's going on. So I want to, like I said, I've went here so you can see the different versions, how it said it. Now is the governor's custom each year during the Passover celebration to release one prisoner. And he said, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, that's the beauty of the Gospels is, the beginning Gospels, uh, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There are accounts of this. Different people, basically almost identical, but not exactly. Just different phrasing and all that stuff. Um, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So here it goes here, just kind of what I said earlier. So to pacify the crowd, Pilate released Barabbas to them. He ordered Jesus flogged with a lead tipped whip and then turned him over to the Roman soldiers to be crucified. But it says to pacify the crowd. So you got to be careful. Um, we have to be careful when we're calling for justice, and that it's true justice and not um, vengeance, not um, mob justice in this case, social justice. Because, like I said, once you add an adjective in front of it, it renders it useless. It's not justice anymore. It's mob rule um, at its finest. Or I should say at its worst, at its finest. Um, so, like I said, so we're talking about justice, and here you can see how the injustice is served and done. But the beauty about Good Friday is the hope, and we must always remember there's always hope. Where there, wherever Christ is, there's hope. And I'm going to come here to probably, to me, it's the biggest part of our faith is, with repentance, and that knowing that if you truly repentant, that God will forgive you. Even, here, people who don't know this, it's the story. I'm going to read the story of the one of the criminals that was also crucified next to Jesus. I'm going to start it. It's over here uh, it's here in Luke. Starting here, I'm gonna start here at 32. Luke 32, and I'm gonna read. Two others, both criminals, were led out to be executed with him. When they came to a place called the Skull or Calvary, they nailed him to the cross, and the criminals were also crucified, one on his right and one on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing." When the soldiers gambled for his clothes, the soldiers gambled for his clothes by throwing dice. The crowd watched, and the leaders scoffed. He saved others, they said. Let him save himself if he's really God's Messiah, the chosen one. The soldiers mocked him too by offering him a drink of sour wine. They called out to him, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." A sign was fastened above him with these words: "This is the king of the Jews." One of the criminals hanging beside him scoffed, "So you're the Messiah, are you?" prove it by saving yourself and us too while you're at it. um, but the other criminal protesting, don't you fear God even when you've been sentenced to die? We deserve to die for our crimes, but this man hasn't done anything wrong. Then he said to Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus replied, I assure you, today you will be with me in paradise. And that's a strong message of forgiveness, because you hear the, I mean, you hear the contempt, you read the contempt in these people's voices. I mean, here's the criminal going, oh yeah, prove it to me by saving me. And you know, how many of us don't, when we're in a tough time, oh oh God, help me, I need your help. And we kind of bargain, and we do it. And we bargain with God to um help us through a tough time or something like that. um and this is when you read it this way and you see what we're doing and you see the wrong way, and we're having a relationship with God. And here, whereas with the other guy's like, look, I know, I know what I deserve. I know you know I know that I've done wrong. I know I've sinned. I know I've but forgive me, remember me when you go back to your kingdom. And it's like, that's how, we have to be repentant like that, and ask God to forgive us for what we do. Because we know at the end of the day we don't deserve it. But if we're repentant, we'll get it. Because at the end of the day, God loves us. And we're called to be Christ-like. And even like here, my channel, I'm criticizing all these people, I'm giving you guys my opinion, but at the end of the day, um you know these people, they need to be forgiven for what they're doing. And some of them, just like Jesus said, forgive them, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. Because sometimes some of these people, they don't know what they're doing. They think they do, but they really don't. They don't see the division that they're causing and the pain that they cause the world with the stuff that they're spewing out. But we have to forgive them. We have to forgive them. And at the end of the day, we have to take Jesus's lesson. And um, he forgave them as he was, as he was dying. That's why he said, "Forgive them, for they don't know what they do." So, uh, you know, you got to see the sacrifice that Jesus did. He took the sins of the world. He took the burden of the world, and he took it into himself. Um, and um, that's the concept of Good Friday, is that Jesus sacrificed himself so we could be able to be with him in heaven. And it's powerful. It's a powerful message. It's that people don't hear enough. People dismiss it because they're so smart that they think that religious people are stupid because we believe what we believe. Um, but it's a comfort. I mean, I don't know what's the comfort in I don't know what's the comfort in thinking that there there's nothing there's no meaning to life, that we're just random creations by the universe. I mean, I don't see the enlightening philosophy in that. I don't see it. I think that we're here for a reason. God gave us a purpose, and we just got to find our purpose. And sometimes we have to go through. Uh, we got to go through difficulties, and there's the saying that iron sharpens iron, and sometimes that's what we need. Sometimes we need to be put into the fire to be tempered and to be made stronger. And sometimes you got to make that sacrifice. So, no, okay. Uh, Oh, this is my Good Friday message. I hope you guys enjoy it. Uh, if you'd like, please follow my YouTube channel or my Rumble channel. It's both at the Right Rican. Same thing with Facebook, Twitter, Gab, and Parlor. And yeah, that's it. That's it, everyone. Uh, have a uh, have a happy Easter weekend. We'll go and I'm actually going to going to do a message Sunday on as I like to call it, Resurrection Sunday, and I'll probably go into a little detail on why I don't really like the term Easter, but I do call it Resurrection Sunday for that purpose. So if you're interested, like I said, I'll be making the video on Sunday, and um, have a good one, everyone.